All right, now in this video, we're now going to create the database migration scripts. And this basically means now we are going to create the tables that we're going to use within our given application. So for us to do that, we are going to create these tables within the public folder. And the public folder is the one that you can see here. So what I'm going to do here, I can use the terminal command. And of course, I have git bash installed. So what I can do here is, let's just clear this. Have this cleared. So what I can do here is I can navigate. Of course, I've already navigated to the public folder here. And what I can do here is just to come and hit touch and then start creating the first table. So the first table here is going to be categories underscore table, and then here we're going to upload PHP. So that is going to be the first table, which is going to be created here. Now within this table, we are going to have some code that we're going to generate within this table. So the first one you're going to have here is PHP, and then here we're going to use require. And then of course, the first thing you're going to do is require the bootstrap file, which of course we already know this file was our database connectivity. We already know that. And then of course, any other database, that is any other requirement that for the file needs, it's already there. Now here we are going now to create the database object, of course. And then here we're going to have, for example, into our DB. So I want to use this DB, and then of course it's going to be the new database. That's what we're going to have. And then here we can create that is the categories table. And then the categories table is, as you can see, we are creating a table if it does not exist, which is the categories table. The ID is auto increment, primary key, and then the name varchar, that means the variable character, which is 255, not nat, can be empty, and then the timestamp, that is for the dates, is going to be created as well. Now once we do that, we can come here and execute our query, and here we're going to call the instance of our database, which is coming from the database class. We already know what we have here is the connection object, the PHP connection object, which is of course establishing as the connectivity within our database. And then of course the DB, which is an instance of database, like that. Okay, now once we are done with this, we can come here and have an echo. And then this echo will be at categories table created successfully. And then we can run this table and see and find out if our tables has been created successfully. So what we can do here is we can come here and type the create categories table like this. And then we can see now the connection, of course, is successful and the categories table has been created successfully. Now, what we can do here is let us remove this this echo here, because you already know table connectivity is working, so we don't need to have. So the categories table has been created, and when we come to PHP MyAdmin, we can also inspect that to see that the categories table within our database, which is PHP MVC blog, and we can see that our categories table has been created successfully. Now, once we have that done, we can now go ahead and create the other table that we need also to use within our application. Now, as you can see, these tables, I'm creating them in an order. For example, now the next one is going to be the post table. So the post table is going to be this way. Then this post table here is going to have something similar with what we had before. So here we're going to have our PHP. Then we are going to have our require course, we are going to require that. And then here we are going to create post table. And this post table here is going to have several things. Now, for example, we are going to have the ID. We're going to have, so let's just begin. So let me just hit this one. So we're going to have the ID. And then here we are going to have, actually title is already there, but I want them to be in this order. So we're going to have title there, which is varchar. And then here after the title, we have the content. So let's have the content or table here. So so this is what you're going to have. So the content is going to be that way, and then the text not that, which is okay. Then next is, let me join this. So category, which is a foreign key within our table. That's why I had to create the categories table first before creating the post table, because if I now run the post table, if I created the post table as the first table and ran it with this foreign key, then there would be an error of foreign key whereby it can't trace this foreign key where it is coming from. That's why we have to create the categories table first and then the post table. Okay, so once we have that one, the next item here is the categories. It's going to be category ID, and then we are going to default it. This is what you're going to have. So this is going to be our default that, like that. And then down here, we are going to have, instead of the other, we're going to have an image for our table. And then here we're going to have default. So default now, it means that this one, in case we enter a post, in case we create a post and there's no image, so this one is going to be null by default. So that's what basically this is what it means. Right, so once we have that one, we have this timestamp, and then here we are going to reference a foreign key, which of course is category ID, which is referencing the categories ID on the categories table. So the category ID is coming from the post table, and then it is referencing categories ID on the category table. And then here we're going to set, that is on delete, set null, which is going to be okay. Right, so once we have this one, now we can come here and have that one, which is now used for executing our query. And then here we can have that. All right, so that is it. So that's what we have. And now once we have this one, we can just come here and run our table. So let me just have this one like this. So here we're going to have into our post, and then we're going to run it that way. Okay. So there's an error of undefined variable db on line 15. Let's see what we used on line. Okay, so we did not create, we forgot to create this one. So this is going to be db. Then, so the instance of our new, the object which is coming from the database class. So we need to have that one like that. Then this table is going to be created successfully. And we can come here and check this on our PHP. This is it. So this is the one, and then this is the post table that we have so far. Right. So once we have that one, now the next table I want us to create is this one here. So let me just clear this. And then the next table here that we're going to create is the comments table. So we're going to have comments within our tables, within our log. So here we need to have the comments table like this. So comments, so create comments table. And once we have the comments table, we can also come and update it like this. So here we have PHP, and then here we're going to have the require like that. And then here we are going to have create the database object, which you already know, start one. And here now we are going to create comments table. Now within the comments table, we can have the following. Okay, so let me just this, and then I'm going to edit according to what I want. Okay, so here we're going to have the post ID of the post that we are commenting, which is okay. Then next we are going to have is the content. So I want the content to be there, but to be just after the post ID. And then here we're going to have not going to have the name. So after the content, you are going to have this. So let's just have this one there. And then here we're going to have that is updated at. So we're going to have that one updated at update current timestamp. So this is it. So we're going to have that one like that. And then here we're not going to have email. Then we're going to have our foreign key, which is the post ID, which is references post table, that is the post ID, and then on delete cascade. This is okay. So we're going to have that one like that. And then here I'm going to have database execute query, and then I'm going to have this. So I believe everything is okay. So we can go ahead and also run this table. So this table is the comments table. So this is what we have, and the table has been created successfully. We can also be able to inspect this, and this is our table structure. All right, so now once we have that one, the last table we are going to create in this video is the users table, and the users table is the one that is going to record for us when the user is logged in, whether it's an admin or a normal user. So we're going to have that table, and then once we have that table, we are going to have the following. So basically what we have here is we're going to have the require. So we're going to have the require like that, and then here we create our, then here we are going to create a users table like that. Now the users table is going to have the following. So here we're going to have the auto increment username, and then here we're going to have, so the email here is not going to have an email, but we're going to have username, password, and then below the password we are going to have is admin. So this is going to be is admin. Then here we're going to have tiny int 1, and then here it's going to be not null, and then default 0. So default 0 basically means that it cannot be empty, and whenever a normal user or any user who gets logged in, the value is going to be placed as 0. It means that now unless I, the creator of this project, go to the database and change this value to 1, then this one initially it's going to remain as 1 like that. But basically we're going to have 1 like that. Then the last one is created at the timestamp and so forth. Right, so once we have that one, now we need to have this one, and then this one we will have it that way. Right, so once we have that one, now we can come here and run this table as well. So this is users, and we can now see that we have users table which is created successfully, and those are the tables that you're going to work with in our event application. Right, so let me meet you in the next video.